I just
Ah, he's back.
I hate when it does that. So get all this stuff turned back on.
We assumed that you were publishing a recording a screen that you're not allowed to record.
No, it actually froze up.
Are you on your laptop or what?
No, I'm on the desktop, but the desktop, for whatever reason, it does not like this database that gets loaded. It has froze up on me before with this database.
really.
So, yeah, I don't know what it is about this database, but it was probably my fault because I changed it before I think it was completely loaded. I told it to sort differently. So probably was my fault. Anyway, what I was trying to say was each county, you can see like Vinton County, or Van Wert, they all have their own separate control frequencies.
Uh-huh.
And Warren County has 4 different control frequencies, with this one here being the master, the master control frequency. And then Lebanon has its own, Lebanon Monroe area has its own special control frequency, which does not appear to be interconnected with any of the other ones. So they're on an island by themselves, or at least it appears that way. Anyway, all these all the counties can interconnect, and that is why you could hear other counties from around Ohio.
Is this strictly Ohio, or does it include Indiana, Illinois, and
there is a provision for Northeast Kentucky, and I think right along the border of Indiana, but it's only it's like a mutual aid channel. You won't hear them unless you need to hear them. So there's like thousands of talk groups. So there's a statewide talk groups, which if you see an E out here, if it says DE, that means it's an encrypted talk group. If it's DX, it's sometimes encrypted, so they can turn the encryption on and off as needed. But you can see counties and agencies and whatever, as long as these local events aren't being used, they can use those for certain things. And then there's events in common. So if more agencies have to talk to each other, they can use these channels. And then there's the interoperability channels, which starts to get really, really confusing.
So is all of this the result of the 9/11 confusion, interagency communication?
Kinda. I know Ohio they had an interop thing before all that happened, but it never worked well, or it never worked right. And this fixes a lot of those problems. So yeah, kinda and kinda not, because I think Ohio always wanted to do it, or always saw a need for it, but it wasn't until 9/11 where they got the funding to actually do it the way it should be done. So,
Yeah, a lot of things moved based on 9/11.
but here's your mutual aid
Yeah.
calling channels. Here's they just call that a help desk. I guess if you need something. So then you can go down in here. There's common law enforcement talk groups. So if you're mostly this is going to be highway patrol that I hear up on like 75 or 71 or somewhere like that. And I generally only hear Region 8, which is where we are. And then you've got the train police and the Norfolk Southern police. And those would all be common because highway patrol is everywhere and the trains can pretty much go everywhere. So you got the northern border, which I don't.
Northern border of what?
Northern border interrupt. They are the following counties: Williams, Fulton, Lucas, Ottawa, Erie, Lorain, Chautauqua, Lake, and Ashtabula. So everything north along the Great Lakes.
Okay, so this is northern border of Ohio, essentially.
Yeah, and you'll notice here, I will never hear them because Warren County doesn't need to be connected to them, but I will never hear them anyway because they are encrypted. So it's some sort of border patrol or something. And then they break down even further. You got District 1, District 3, blah, blah, blah. So you find your own district and you go, okay, that would be we're in District 8, which is Georgetown, Hamilton County, Post 13, which is Batavia, Wilmington, Cincinnati.
Is that a highway patrol post?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then post 83 is Lebanon, which is where we deviate and get our numbering from. Is we get dispatched from post 83, which is why down, when I was showing my thing, 83 pops up a lot. So
this is a pretty comprehensive system.
Oh, it's kind of a nightmare to program, but it's here, and I mean it does all it needs to do. But you'll notice this is all just the common stuff. This is all just, it goes common and then regional and then county and then local. I'm big down to small. So because this is the regional area. This is our regional area, and it covers Adams, Brown, Butler, Claremont, Clinton, Fayette, Hamilton, Highland, and Warren County. So it's
greater Cincinnati area, basically.
Yeah. And then you've got the special ops, and you'll notice a lot of the special ops is encrypted, so you'll never hear what they're saying. I don't think. Yep, there's a bunch of them, and they're listed as tactical channels, and they're all encrypted.
That says what? DC?
DE.
DE.
DE. Digital encrypted.
Okay.
But then there's the Turnpike, there's the Bureau, the Ohio Bureau of Investigation, the EMA, statewide emergency response. I mean, they go and go and go. And then you get medical transportation, which Care Flight, Med Flight, Air Care, UCA Air Care. It's all listed in there. Miami Valley. And then you get the fire marshals. So we're still in like a greater area, and eventually we get down in here to, it's way down here. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. It's a huge base. Where are we? We're way down here. Montgomery County, Ottawa County. There we go. So, Warren County. This is all the common Warren County stuff. And you'll find, our mutual aid channels.
What was that DE up there that said, let's see, what?
Private?
Yeah, county private. What's that mean?
I have no idea. That is as much information about that one as I have. My guess, since it's listed right after the schools, it has something to do with the schools.
Okay, so if they have a shooter in an educational facility, they could use that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that since it's listed the way it's listed, other agencies could use it as well, as long as they want, a private or semi-private conversation. Because really, Warren County does not have very many encrypted channels at all until you get Warren County hospitals. Almost anything that's going to give any kind of personal information will be encrypted. Like here we are in Warren County law enforcement, and you'll see that juvenile probation is encrypted.
Okay.
And you'll see that
there's a bunch of DEs down there, yeah.
The drug task force is encrypted, and one of the sheriff's inquiry channels is encrypted. And then of course we get to the special weapons and tactical, and they're all encrypted. So law enforcement has a lot of stuff that's encrypted. And some of it I get because, you don't want somebody to carry a scanner around while you're telling the SWAT team what to do. But
yeah, that would be undesirable.
and then you got Warren County Local Government and Public Works, which is actually kind of interesting to listen to. Those guys just get on the radio and talk like they're talking on a cell phone. But this is the second, that second control block that I showed up above, where Warren County has the penitentiary and the jail, the two jails. This is them. This is the corrections. So if I put the corrections control frequency in, I will hear all kinds of stuff happening at the jail, at the prison.
Interesting.
Yeah, and none of that's encrypted. It's all out there in the open.
That's odd to me because the one for Claremont County is encrypted.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting.
So if it says DE, that means it's always encrypted?
Always encrypted.
Whereas if it's D, it can be encrypted or not encrypted.
I don't see any of the DXs. There are certain channels where you can turn the encryption on and off. And I think it's DX, but I don't see any of them. It's a different.
So DE means always encrypted.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a different designation when it could be encrypted, and the Raspberry Pi, of course, won't. The people that made the stuff that decodes the P25 will not break encryption for obvious reasons, you know, mainly because that would be illegal to do anyway. But they recommend blacklisting all the encryption channels anyway, because they just take up space that, you know, and when you start the decoder, you can actually tell it to, you know, no encryption. So if it hears an encryption channel, it might pop up and say that there's an encryption channel, but it will reject it almost immediately.
What level of encryption is this now?
It's pretty good, I think. It's
Since it's digital, I would expect it to be RSA.
AES 2256.
Really?
Yep.
That's
not
not
as good as I'd have thought.
Yeah, that's why that's why they won't tell you how to get around the encryption.
That's basically slightly above 9-year-olds.
Well, the software, even if you try to do it, the software on the Raspberry Pi won't. It won't let you.
Oh, okay.
So I've been told that there's a way to do it if you have a real scanner, but you know, that takes a little extra work to set up. But it's a really neat, and it's cheap. You know, those digital scanners are $400+ setting this thing up was $60, maybe $65.
Well, not with current Raspberry Pi prices.
Yeah, but I mean,
You can get an Orange Pi keyboard pretty cheap.
it should work on anything capable of running at least 2110. Actually, it won't run on anything newer right now for some reason.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's why it was such a pain in the butt, because for whatever reason, the original tutorial that I found on how to set this up on the Raspberry Pi wanted you to use 2104. And for whatever reason, Ubuntu got rid of 2104. It's not even in their archive. It's just gone. So I found 2110, finally found a copy of 2110, and that seemed to work, but I still got a couple of weird errors that were related to the repositories, but it worked. Apparently it worked because it's working. So I figured if it was in the 21 series that the repositories would be very, very similar, and luckily they were close enough, I guess. But something about the software you actually install GC something for the SDR, and the OP25 software needs a very specific version of that to work. So it has to be the right version in the right repository.
Excuse me.
Was that the John's Tech blog? OP25 for Dummies?
I don't think that's the one I don't think that's the one I used. It was a GitHub guide.
BoatBod?
No,
Yeah.
no, but you use BoatBod's repository eventually.
Okay.
You get there.
Yeah, this is saying you can't use a newer version of CMake.
Yeah. Yeah, it was written for like Python 2 or something, and nobody's ever updated it.
God, I hate Python 2.
And there's certain requirements that aren't in the newer repositories because of it. So I don't really care so much that it's running an old version that doesn't get updates anymore. It's just, it's a pain because it's an old version that doesn't get updates anymore. Ray has a new robot.
So you're actually in the same time zone as we are, Ray?
Well, if you're in Ohio, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
the virtual background of your office. So
he's driving down the road. That's just the virtual background. That'll get you into a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, I'm in town. I was out trolling the streets last weekend for yard sales, and I'm always looking for tools and stuff for working, extension cords and whatever. And I found a bunch of stuff, and I ran into this. It's a Ozobot, and it's similar to what Vicente had worked on, but it's this tiny little robot. It's like smaller than a golf ball.
Yep.
And but yeah, it runs on this little track thing. You can build tracks with the puzzle piece sets. And
which model is that?
The one that's in the blue case.
Okay.
Model 40101.
40101. Okay.
Model 40101.
Does it have a date code on it, Ray?
No. And it says designed by Evolve in California, Ozobot Evolve 2016. I think that's more of a date for the company, not for this. And it's got a stamped number on it. It says 6306GZ. But
they make a couple of different models.
One of them says send Evo 2 Evo messages worldwide. But I don't know that it's I don't know that it's exactly an Evo 2. But you guys are watching me doing the unboxing.
How much
don't know
did
if I
you
should
end
be-
up? How much did you end up giving for it?
I paid $5 for it.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
you can't go wrong.
I feel
Unless
like,
the
you know,
battery's
hey,
shot.
that couldn't be so bad. $5. So it's got a cool little pouch for a battery charger cable.
Yeah.
Nah, I figured I couldn't go wrong for that much money. It was,
So who's this guy who was selling it?
I don't know if his kid bought it for school project or what, but it was in a it was just in a garage sale.
Doesn't look like it's ever been opened.
Got a little helmet looking thing
Yeah.
that goes over top of the robot. What is that?
A helmet looking thing
a
that goes over
protector?
top.
Helmet, thanks. Great description there.
They long time they made packs and you could like get a Spider-Man skin for your robot or an Avenger skin for your robot or
Okay.
something like that. And I think they gave in one of the kits you would get a free skin, and that's probably what you've got.
So we've got spirals and pieces and other stuff in the puzzle pieces. Like, okay, that's it's not too stupid. But hey, man, I thought all I was gonna get was the little robot in the top. And maybe some instructions and a power cord inside. I wasn't expecting all these other goodies. So it's a little different. And I don't mind. Different is acceptable. So I will see if I can finish unboxing it and
There you go, Ray. There.
ooh.
So you get the robot and the Avenger skin for the robot.
All right. Yeah, I gotta say
And-
that.
And that was $85.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
85 bucks.
We're being recorded. I cannot give my true feelings. So
some of those Evos go for a couple of $100 though. So $5, that's a deal. It doesn't matter how you look at it. $5 is a deal.
Yeah, that's a factor of 17. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's impressive.
They've got a Captain America skin too, if you want Captain America.
I think right now I'm just gonna charge it up and see, make sure it doesn't smoke.
Yeah, if you don't know how long it's been sitting, that might be a problem.
I have no idea, but it's got 7 little color color sensors
Yeah,
for that's a lot of sensors.
yeah. It's an impressive little robot. There's actually a firmware update for it. I will put a link to the firmware in the
Chat.
chat. Yeah,
My email. All good.
I could do that too. My Evo is charging. So you program it by light.
I don't have access to any light.
Different colors So you can program it off the screen. You hold the sensor up to the bottom of the screen, and hopefully it programs correctly.
I had that in a watch many years ago.
Yeah, it's a neat feature.
So, is that, I haven't been on here in 2 weeks, have I?
I don't think so.
So my website, Rabbit Laser USA, got a new website.
Who?
Built by professional Justin.
You have a professional web designer now, huh?
Yes, he did the MetaClinic website and he did the Rabbit Laser USA website. So cool.
Oh, I see a rabbit laser lasering on your website.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's doing a slate, probably.
Yeah. It's some sort of stone. It's etching. Very cool.
Yeah. I think so. It's definitely getting better.
It is. He made it all HTML5 and flashy and all kinds of stuff.
All right. Trying to figure out how this little puzzle thing goes together.
Very carefully.
You talking about the track?
The track, yeah, the one that's meant that only 6-year-old kids can do. Yeah. Anyway,
They
strained my brain. I figured it out. I do not like this.
Ray likes the robot. He just doesn't like anything else about it.
That would be true.
That must be a very fertile area for garage sales.
It is actually. Got a lot of people that don't like the stuff they have and ready to get rid of it at a really low price so they can get rid of everything so they can buy something else that they don't really want.
Sounds about right.
All right. Do I really need to read the instructions to figure out this thing?
I don't. Maybe. I think there's an app because I think the Evo has Bluetooth and you can control it through Bluetooth. So
I think it does have an app because it showed a phone that you could drive it around with your cell phone.
Yeah.
One of the pictures shows a kid messing with it. expressive LEDs, audio playback, character downloads, USB, color and line detection, precision movements, a 60-minute playtime, and a proximity sensors. It has what looks like Scratch programming. The races, you can follow the line with drawings, do little
Yeah.
battles. Oh, that's it. I want to break it. I want to do battles.
I think the if I remember right, I think the Scratch programming was through the app. I don't know if you could do that over I don't remember.
That's pretty impressive for $5.
$5 and smaller than a golf ball? Yeah.
I picked up 2 of them from Micro Center when they closed them out. I don't remember what I paid, but it was more than $5.
Are those in my box of robot goodies?
No, they're in my box of parts that are parts.
Ray's future goodies?
So the grandkid has been with her daddy this past week, and I've actually gotten stuff kind of sort of done. I spent a whole day getting my Raspberry Pi set up, but you missed it. I already told these 2 about it, so that's what you get for
Everybody else,
being
just you
late.
two.
Well, that's what the recording is for.
That's true. Hopefully the recording worked out.
Well, so far it's been pretty successful, hasn't it?
Yeah, but my computer did crash, so it does say it's recording though, so I did pick up a new M5 stack S3. This thing's got all kinds of features to it. Like, it's got a camera built into it right there on the front. And an actual on and off switch. An actual real on and off switch. And a touch screen.
Oh. Great. Here's my new touchscreen controller for touchscreen display and controller for laser machines. I don't know if we're really gonna use it though.
There's the camera. I could
I see
angle it.
myself.
Kinda. Yep, there you are.
There you are. There. Perpetual forever.
It's so I'm hoping that I could be able to use that and read some of those Aruco markers or whatever and have it do its thing. It's got an IMU built into it. It's got SD card. It's got a ton of memory. It's got all kinds of stuff just waiting to be exploited.
Utilized.
Oh yes, yes, that too.
Yeah, that's a fancy word for exploited.
Got speaker, dual microphone.
How big an SD card can you put in it?
32 gig, I think, is what the website says, but well, we can find out. Capacitive touchscreen. It's got the gyroscope and the compass and the camera and some sort of decoder and a reset button. That's always important. Always need a reset button. And they designed it to go on DIN rail. So to
Oh,
sit
really?
on a DIN rail, yeah.
Why? Why would you want it on a 35 millimeter DIN rail?
Why not?
Industrial.
Because M5 stack, even though they make this stuff for hobbyists to play with, they really sell the stuff to industries. And they've got a M5 stack PLC and all kinds of stuff that's all based on the ESP32. So they're marketing this as artificial, as being programmable to be artificial intelligence. So my guess is they've got some idea that since it's got the camera, it could do some sort of inventory control or counting or something sitting on a DIN rail. But I don't really know. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they actually built the DIN rail into this thing. And you can see there's some knockouts there, so their future expansion could happen. So
Looks like the size of a USB or Ethernet jack.
Those are they make an expansion that's motor controllers. So it's got the encoder and the control. So that looks like what they're thinking is that looks like the size for two of the encoder things. So maybe they will release a motor driver for this eventually. That just you open it up and you plug it in and knock the knockouts out. But I haven't had a chance to play with that yet. It's even got a actual power jack on it. And it's got a battery. And for us hobby people, it's got the Lego connector dealies on it.
So what is that, 5-volt or 3.3?
It will accept anywhere from 9-volt to 24-volt.
Really?
Yep. So that is quite probably meant for the industrial side of things that run on 24-volt.
So that's actually got a built-in either buck voltage regulator or
something. Yeah. I'd say it's probably a buck.
Yeah,
thing.
is going to generate a lot of heat if it's not a buck.
That was $60 for that. And it got here in like 4 days from China.
So they obviously are stocking in the US somehow or another.
Oh, it came from China.
Really?
The box says it's got the 2 shipping labels on it. One of them said in it. I watched it come over here. They're pretty good when you spend a lot of money with them. They get it over here to you pretty fast. If you don't spend a lot of money, then you'll wait for it. Like if I had only bought like a $12 thing, it probably would take 2 weeks for it to get here. But spend $100 with them and they'll send stuff really, really fast. That's nice of them. Wow. It's got a light sensor. It's got kind of a crappy camera, but it's a start. It's got the power management, 6-axis, and the magnetometer. It's got a real-time clock on board, so you can put it to sleep. It's got a 1-watt speaker. Oh, that's what that decoder is. It's an audio decoding chip. So and the dual microphone, the pin rails. I don't see anything that actually says I have to look at the schematic. Yeah. I think that's some type of buck or boost or buck or a buck boost. There's the antenna. I don't actually see it on the schematic. Oh, there it is. Boost. So that's coming off of the
What am I hearing in the background? Is that a scanner?
that's the scanner, yeah. I probably should go and turn that off.
So we're picking that up through your microphone there?
So some of the agencies, for whatever reason, are very, very loud, and other agencies are not so loud. It's really, really weird. But I think that has something to do with how close you are to your microphone or something when you're talking, because it's all digital. So it's just very, very strange. Could be the gain they've got set on their radios too. The mic gain or something. So the fire departments all use those tones. They really want to get your attention, and the tones are almost always louder than the people actually talking. So anybody hear from Jim today? I didn't get a meeting announcement or anything. Wonder if Jim's okay.
I had to go to like 3 weeks ago to get a message.
Download the
Wonder if
I
Jim's
have it programmed into Zoom as one of my standard meetings, so I don't even go to the email anymore to pick up the meeting information.
and Steve fixed it so that our Zoom clients now show that there's a meeting.
Yep.
It hasn't shown that in a while, and Steve fixed it.
My pleasure. I had to do that for mine too.
I'm still considering getting one of those tablets like you've got.
Mhm.
Because I am thinking that might make a decent tablet or a decent secondary device to carry around in the car for doing this OP25 thing. Get me another dongle and keep it in the car and listen. Unless you could think of something that might be a little cheaper that will run,
I mean, it was under $200.
Yeah.
How cheap do you want?
Well, that's the wrong question. I almost pulled the trigger on it, but it concerns me because it says no USB. And he's got other ones that have USB. And of course, he wants way more money for them, which kind of makes me think that he knows what he's talking about when it says no USB.
It can be the USB can be disabled in BIOS. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing's got 3 hubs in it. I don't see how they could all be out.
Well, the only way I could think that USB would be broken is if somebody physically damaged the USB port.
Yeah.
And
those ports are replaceable. They're potted from behind and waterproof and on a cable. So if it's physical damage, it's a thing that you can get around.
And if it's turned off in BIOS, that's even easier. You just turn it back on.
Yep. I can't imagine that the motherboard could be broken and it would still do normal stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, I've had a couple of USB ports that break, that are physically broken. And usually you can disconnect the hot and it'll work. A lot of times it will short the machine out, but I don't think it would be physically broken. I mean, it's pretty hard to break one, isn't it?
Yeah, and Dells tend to be built pretty well.
Yeah.
I have come up with an interesting new issue with this. So I installed some mapping software and the GPS stuff appears to work and everything. I don't think it has GPS antennas internal. I think that's what the 2 little connectors on the bottom are. I think when it's mounted in a police car, there's a 1/4 inch thick slab that goes between the keyboard and the laptop to connect to the antennas on the roof.
Yeah, because the GPS would be on the trunk or on the roof. On a police car, in a police car.
Yeah.
Seems like you should be able to. A lot of GPS antennas are active antennas, so. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm surprised the
Ah,
GPS even works at all without an active antenna on it.
maybe the GPS decoder works, but I haven't figured out how to turn on the antenna. Hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. I mean, the one I was looking at says that it has GPS, but that's not really what I wanted it for. I wanted it for that journal program. But since I've set this thing up, I was kind of like, it would be really handy to carry around a scanner that I could listen to in the car. And not spend $400 on. So I thought about buying just another Raspberry Pi 4 and sticking that in the car, and another cheap software dongle. But the tablet would be way more useful, I think.
I'm real happy with the screen, with the touch screen, with the rotation, battery life. Parts for it are not too expensive. It's a thing.
Yeah. Well, Patty gave me permission. She said, if that's what you want, go and buy it. And I'm like, okay, I have permission to buy it.
But does she mean it?
Well,
I'm looking at an Orange Pi, Orange Pi 800, and that's $120 without a display.
Yeah.
Nah, 110.
That's not hateful, but yeah.
But for $203, you can get it with a 19.2 screen.
So the that is comparable to the Raspberry Pi 4, right? I mean, as far as speed and
This
cores
thing,
and memory and all that.
the Latitude.
No, the Orange Pi.
Oh, the Orange Pi is 6-core.
Yeah.
The
So it probably would be better. It probably would do better at decoding than
Yeah.
the Raspberry Pi. That's a thought.
Yeah, it's got a rock chip RK3399 in it.
Weather advisory. But what? It looks gorgeous out there. Airflight is getting a weather advisory.
Wonder why.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well,
80 degrees and partly cloudy.
So they're forecasting a change in the weather, huh?
I don't know. It may have been for where he was actually going, not for around here. Sounded like he was going north. So there may be something going on to the north of us. Where are you finding this orange pie for that price?
Amazon,
Oh, okay.
$204 for an orange pie with a USB-C attached monitor. Well, maybe HDMI attached monitor.
I don't so much need the monitor.
In your car, you do.
I've
Runs on 5 volts. Imagine how distracted you could be with that thing beside you.
Yeah.
You could feel like you were driving a Tesla.
see, I still have
Yeah,
that. So I don't so much need the, guess it goes like that. I don't so much need the screen. I think the orange pie. The orange pie might work. Why do they decide to stick the USB ports like that so close together to each other? I mean, when you've got large things, you can only plug one thing in. Oh, besides that, it's got VGA on it too, so I could actually use VGA.
Well, that connector isn't any smaller.
No, but I've got a little tiny VGA monitor.
Oh,
A
okay.
little tiny sucker that I don't know where that came from, but that is one of the coolest little monitors I've seen. It's not anything special. It's 640, maybe. It might be a little bit better than that, but it is one of the coolest little monitors I've ever seen. I used it forever as a test thing. Go to somebody's house and they said it's not working, and you just plug that in and you could see, well, at least it's booting up.
you can get just the straight Orange Pi 5, same
Specs.
basic chip, except it's an 8-core for $90
Ooh.
if you don't want that keyboard.
I don't necessarily need the keyboard. I mean,
But that doesn't have VGA.
yeah. I'm thinking even with the, well, it does have headphone jack on it. So that might work out. That might work out really good. The Orange Pi 800 might work out.
So that's an 8-core?
The 800 is 6-core.
6-core, okay.
I've been looking at that set with the keyboard for a while, or with the monitor for a while. I'm like, yeah, kind of like it.
Well, it's got a full-size HDMI port on it.
Yep.
And a headphone jack. That might work perfect in the car.
I believe that's headphone with a mic also.
hate how close those ports are. Well, the Raspberry Pi 400 is the same way.
Yeah.
3 ports, but I can only plug 2 things in.
You need smaller things.
I need smaller things. Yeah, that actually, it's right there in the right price range too. That may actually be a better. Now that I've shifted focus and decided that, you know, I might want to make a, you know, make a portable scanner.
How portable are you going for?
For the car. Orange Pi 5, 8 gig rock chip, 8 core 64-bit single board computer, Pi 5, 10.1 inch screen, $67.
Huh?
And then fastest delivery. This is not sold by Amazon. $22 to have the stupid thing shipped. I'll put a link to it.
Okay.
It's not, it's ships from old Orange Pi, sold by Orange Pi, so it's coming from China. It's not stocked at Amazon.
Is that a touch screen? I can't think it would be.
Capacitive touchscreen with hardware of 800 by 1280.
Huh.
That may actually be a better deal. See, with $22 shipping, $88, $89 plus tax. So does this not have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
Um,
I don't.
it should. It just doesn't have the antennas on it.
Well, for what I want to do, that's not a huge deal, but it would be nice if it had it. Looks like, have to make my own custom case for it or whatever.
I'm not entirely certain that that comes with the Rock Pi. Or the Orange Pi, rather, sorry. I think that's just the display
There.
for a 10-inch touch screen.
I know that's cheap, right? But it
Yeah.
says right there, included components.
It does say that.
That's
But
damn
the Orange,
cheap. That's damn cheap.
but Orange Pi sells the Orange Pi 5 for $80.
They're giving us a free screen.
Yeah.
Who knows what your Orange Pi developer board is supported? It does sound like it's just a screen, but then they put stuff in there.
I just put in a link for the Orange Pi 5, and that's the cheapest one I can find.
And then down here it says,
But it
Talks
has
about-
DDR4 memory.
talks about the memory and the OS that it can run. It's like everything from China. You don't really know what you get until you get it. When it shows up at your door, that's what you get. Now, why is that board $80 and the screen? That's insane.
I kind of get the impression that they're saying that the screen only works with that Orange Pi.
Well, it looks like it is not an HDMI screen. It's a whatever
MIPS or whatever that connection is.
whatever that connector is, yeah. But I'm willing to bet that if you replace that board with an HDMI board, it would work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's working.
Ray's got it doing stuff.
Wow, that's impressive.
It has
No,
a little
I'm upset
halo.
because it has a gay pride mode. It has a gay pride mode.
It's a proud little robot.
He's very happy going around in his circle.
So how big is that track, Ray? Wow. That's very impressive. And you invested $5 in it. By the way, you're on mute, Ray.
That might be a good thing that I was on mute. The track that comes with it is little tile pieces. I guess in total it's about 16 by 10 inches. But now I'm trying to figure out how to get it to connect. Right now it's just a
Oh, okay. They make, oh, wait a second. What the? That makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. So the one you showed, the orange pie that you had for $80 has 4 gigs of RAM. And the one they're saying that comes with the screen has 8 gigs of RAM. I think you're right. It's just a screen. You can't possibly be getting the orange pie with that. The 8 gig version of the orange pie is $102.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ray. I got off on this whole orange pie thing.
All good.
Well, Steve, you could buy it and see what shows up.
I could. Yeah. I've been looking at those orange pies for a while. I haven't decided.
I have a couple of old orange pies, and they were a bit hit and miss. Depending upon the which model, and then their software was always janky. It never was quite right. That's been my own personal experience with orange pie, but I think because they've taken on board a lot of people have tweaked and made comments about certain things, I think they've fixed a lot of that, especially in their higher price stuff. So I had an orange pie. Actually, I had 2 orange pies. They used a proprietary weird connector for power that nobody made. And even Orange Pie didn't sell the connector. It took forever to finally find something to actually power this stupid thing up. And then when I did, I was sadly disappointed with the whole entire thing. But that does not look like that's the case with the Orange Pi 5. It looks like they're using USB-C.
Yeah. One of the things that I don't like about it is it requires a heat sink. It's got 3 push buttons on it. 2 of them are going to be under a heat sink.
It's almost like the USB ports being too close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you all the USB ports you want, but you can only use one of them. Gee, thanks.
That's not a bug, that's a feature.
That's a feature.
To keep you from
Yes.
drawing too much power on it. Just trying to protect you. Weather tomorrow looks nice. Partly cloudy, good breeze. Not supposed to get above 74 degrees and pretty low humidity.
Might have to go and actually do so. I think we are going to the zoo on Sunday.
Yeah.
Did you see this here, Steve? In there, why would you advertise what the price was?
They're showing that it hasn't gotten too awfully expensive
Is that
compared
what-
to a Raspberry Pi.
Is that what they're trying to say?
I think so.
I'm sitting there looking at that going, well, I wish I would have bought that in
Not now.
not
How
now.
do you actually have a pre-sale price? Because I mean, it's a price, and they're selling it.
They do basically Kickstarter. If you sign up before it goes on sale, you give them money and hope that you actually get a board.
Yeah. Oh, they make a 16 gig model of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get real fancy with them.
Wow. Yeah, I might consider. I'd really like to know what it is I'm actually buying before I buy it. But I might consider an orange pie.
Well, if you've had issues with one in the past and know that they're weird, that's going to work against you when you're going to load your radio software.
Well, admittedly though, it was not a pretty sight trying to install an old version of Ubuntu to get it to work anyway. So the software requires what it requires, and you know, I suppose before I actually buy an orange pie, I need to see what specific version of Debian is available for it, or Ubuntu or whatever, because it seems to me like it's very specific about needing it to be the 21 series of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
So, and that may be the ultimate deciding factor when it comes right down to it. And that's why it's trying to do this on the tablet may not be the best idea, because the tablet is new enough that it should run, you know, good software, supported software.
I've got a pretty decent one of those little radios. I'll see if I can get that software to work on this thing. It's running Mint, and it's current Mint, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. 23 1 21 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. 23.
Something like that.
There's too many model numbers, too many version numbers.
Well, 21.1
That's
is the current version, is it not?
for Mint. Yeah, probably.
On their downloads page is what?
21 1.
Yep.
Yep. But 21 2 shouldn't be too far from now.
They show
Yeah,
they show release dates for it.
I thought that the next one was available for testing right now.
According to OMG Ubuntu, it will be released. A beta for it will be released later this month, and the stable will probably be early July. So
Okay.
soonish. And it will be based on 2204, long-term support release of Ubuntu, which is going to cause you problems if you're going to try to install the software, because I tried it on 2204 and it did not want to work. So. Yeah, another website says end of June for the beta. Now the question is, I wonder if it'll run on 20. On Linux Mint 20.
I know nothing about the radio end of it, but I can probably get around software issues. If I'm doing an install of this thing, can I give you a call?
I don't know how much help I'll be because I stumbled through it myself, but yeah,
Well, I don't know how to use the radio.
oh,
I bought one and I found out how to get WLW. I'm like, okay, that's good.
let me see if I can.
So how long do you think this will take to charge, Ray?
The manual says 60 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm like, I'm not really gonna mess with it. I have one of these little amp meters,
Yeah.
and when it first started charging, it didn't even show. I mean, the thing wouldn't even recognize nothing. And I got it to plug in. I was holding down the button and it registered. 5 minutes later, the light changed and it made a different noise, and I reset it again and it made another different noise, and I was like, okay, something's going on. So but the milliamps on the little meter never went above 0.00. I was like, this is just wrong. I mean, it's actually running, but it's not showing that it's drawing any power at all. So I just left the charge, plugged in the charger, and a minute later, 10 minutes later, it actually said it now is drawing 0.13 amps to charge the battery, and I guess I'll let it charge. The color on the Evo is actually changing. It went from red to now it's like a yellow. It's got 5 lights across the front of it, as if it's like a power level indicator. So that's kind of cool. I guess that when it's fully charged, all 5 lights will be on and blinking. So again, I guess that's kind of cool. The connection software says in the firmware update, it says to do the update by Bluetooth, and my desktop computer doesn't have Bluetooth. So I know I'm behind times for being in this club. I'm surprised you guys let me stay in the club.
You're going to get banned.
I get banned.
I'm
I
just kidding.
have like 150 computers, but
No Bluetooth.
well, I got a couple laptops that have Bluetooth, but I don't really want to use those. I was hoping I'd find something like one of these with just a Bluetooth adapter. I have no idea where I put them all.
I put a link to the GitHub resource that I used.
Okay, that's cool.
Now, like I said, he wants you to use 2104, which, you know, I couldn't find for the Raspberry Pi. And he was talking about an entirely different kit, but for the most part, what he says is true, but he goes into how to actually test your SDR and how to get it keyed into where within a couple of kilohertz of where it really needs to be. So that probably will help you a lot about how to set it up.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll have better luck with the repositories and all that. And if you get the software installed, that's a big plus. He eventually goes in, you know, the first thing you tune is an FM station because they're the loudest, noisiest stations and the easiest ones to find, and then you tune around a bit to like a weather station because they're a little bit harder to get zeroed in. But it's all it's not hard. And I'll tell you that the OP25 software isn't quite as picky about being right on the frequency that it needs to be as what he makes it out to be. It actually will kind of seek, if as long as you're close to the center frequency or the control frequency, it will seek in one direction or the other to zero in on it.
Okay.
So it's not quite as picky as what he makes it out to be. The only other thing I misread, and I think it was me, I don't think it was his tutorial, but I misread how to set up the ID tags. I had to actually go to the OP25 project to figure out how to set up the ID tags. But like I said, I think I just misread what he was saying in the tutorial.
Wait, ID tags?
Yeah.
What?
What? ID tags? What are those? So, well, you
So
remember?
you download those from the B25.
Yeah, off of radio reference.
Okay.
So you remember there's the
Yeah.
talk groups that show up right here. See this?
Yep.
That's the ID tag.
Ah, okay.
And
Okay.
that's something that you have to physically put in yourself. And
This was about where you locked yourself out.
yes, I know. I'm getting rid of it. But his tutorial is pretty good, but it's dated. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
it's 2 years old.
yeah. I actually tried to do this exact same thing right at the beginning of the pandemic when we were all under house arrest, and I couldn't get it to work. His is the only tutorial I found that actually got it to work, even though it was a pain in the butt because it's old. So It's not a perfect tutorial though. Some of that may be because it is old.
Hmm.
And of course, he's in Bloomington, Illinois or something. So he talks about setting everything up for Bloomington. Just ignore all that. Set it up for Cincinnati or Claremont County or whatever. Oh, it's alive.
Oh, wow. So that's fully charged?
Currently
Almost.
charging.
That's a whole lot better than red.
Yeah, I'm glad it's taking a charge because that's what I was afraid of was, you know, if it sits for too long, the batteries go too flat.
Oh, trust me, I was like, what the heck? What's going on? Yeah, I'll figure it out. It'll take a little while, I'm sure, but I'll connect it to my laptop with the Bluetooth, and I was gonna plug it into my phone. I downloaded the app, but no telling. I have some other news. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys, but
Nope. Go ahead. We're goofing off.
it's sort of bad news. I got a lot of news. I'm not gonna share everything, but you know how I sent a whole bunch of robot supplies up to Ashland University,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And they decided that they were going to do their business training and business management and stuff like that with the robots, and they were going to sell robots, and they were going to market it to schools and stuff like that. Well, that was just as COVID was hitting, and they had a lot of employee turnover at Ashland University, and obviously the students are coming and going, and they recently came back and they're like, hey, we know that sales are like non-existent, and all this stuff is happening, so we just want to give you all your stuff back, and pay for what they used and wasted, and give the laser machines back, and try to stay on a good terms. I was like, okay. So yep, it looks like they want to try to give everything back. So
This is
like
current?
that.
This is current? They want to
Yeah.
give it back now?
Yeah.
This is after 3 years?
Yeah. Well, trust me, it's been a little bit weird. So, but I mean, they're being nice about it, but it's just weird that they were trying to build up this whole program and it failed, and I told them, like, hey, your students need to learn about businesses that fail as well as managing a business that they think is going to work. So when a business fails, you go bankrupt.
Well, that's kind of what they're saying there, right? But they want to give you back
Yep.
all your bankrupt stuff.
Yeah, well,
You're
Yeah,
their creditor, and that's how they're going to settle.
yeah, well, they kind of fought it, and they're like, we want to keep trying, and then they just gave up. They're like, yep, this is it. So problem is I have to go get everything now.
Hmm.
Computers, laptops, desks, laser machines.
How many laser
ton
machines do they have? How many laser machines?
they've got 2 that are going to be returned to me, and they've got 1 that they're going to be keeping in their own makerspace. The problem is I guess they feel like their students are all business management, and unfortunately with business management, they don't do a lot. I mean, they want to manage technicians and engineers and builders and makers, but they, as a business management, they don't know squat. I'm trying to be nice. They don't know anything. And
The 3 or 4 that were there the day that I helped teach them a little bit seemed like they were really kind of grasping what was going on.
oh yeah, we had plenty of students back then, but you know, they graduated and they moved on.
And of course they didn't teach the new people anything, right?
They did not have an adequate migration plan for new management, new student management, and you know, even they lost instructors, and you know they had Pat Berry quit, or you know he retired. But before he left, he was trying to put in place, you know, hey, who's the next guy? Let's make sure
Right.
he's trained. You know, I'm not out of here for another 6 months, and the new guy stayed there for maybe 9 months, and then he moved on, and he left no plan for the next person. The students, you know how active they're going to be on making a plan for the next guy.
Oh,
So
and how active they will be if they have no interest in the
yeah,
project in
they-
the first place.
were getting scholarships for being in the program,
Yeah.
and they still didn't do it right. And so I was talking with the doctors and the managers and everybody up there at Ashland, and they're like, "Yeah, this could have gone a whole lot better." I was like, "Heck yeah, it could have." I mean, if you're set up with all the equipment and existing design, you know, and your
Product.
job is to do what your college training is for, you know, get in there, do some marketing, do some instructions, some product packaging, you know, design some of this stuff.
So-
If you can't do that, I cannot understand how you should get a job being in charge of that kind of position. So
Well,
So
Whatever.
this is in Ashland,
Ashland, Ohio. Yeah.
so that's up towards Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How big a university is this?
Ashland's decent size, isn't it?
Decent size. I would say half the size of Miami University, Oxford
Yeah.
was the campus up there. I mean, it's a decent size. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm not seeing the whole university. I'm only seeing a few buildings, but it's definitely a decent size.
Ray only cares about where his laser goes. That's all.
Well, I've only been in like 5 of their buildings,
Yeah.
bigger than Miami University, Middletown, and Hamilton, and VOA combined. But it's just
So is this part of the state university system or is it a private school?
I'm pretty sure that Ashland is a privately owned. I don't think it's state. Yeah, their focus is College of Business Management. It's the Deutsch division or whatever it is.
Hmm.
According to the website, they had 6,200 undergraduates in the fall of 2021, and it's a 150-acre campus. So it's decent size.
Yeah, it's nothing to laugh at all. But for whatever reason, they just decided, hey, this isn't working, and their students are not programmers, their students are not designers, and trying to get them to manage this project was just way too much. And I don't agree. I think that they should have been able to do it.
I think they should have been able to do it.
I mean, it wasn't an entire company, and I mean, like, if they were to take over Rabbit Laser, gosh,
That's
You're
scary,
laughing.
Ray. That's scary, Ray.
Yeah, that would be freaking scary. Because that's several different product lines, laser machines, 5 different sizes from 4
And-
different vendors, plus spare parts, plus accessories.
Plus having to duplicate the knowledge that's inside of Ray's brain, which
Yeah.
would be almost impossible.
Yeah. We've had people try. So, I mean, there's plenty of other, we've been in business for almost 18 years, something like 18 years now.
Yeah.
And we have basically proved to the United States that it's a good business. So we now have people cloning our business and selling laser machines, and other people selling accessories. So we're gonna take some notes from them. We're gonna start selling some of their accessories. It's like, hey,
and
we've
repair
stuck our
some of
own
their
stuff.
machines.
Well, we are rebuilding their stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get you a link.
You showed us one a couple weeks ago.
Where I rebuilt the full spectrum
Yeah,
fuse.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, with the headrest and everything on it.
Yep.
Completely
Almost a complete rebuild, like with your touch controllers and everything.
Yeah, it's got a 3D printed headrest, the touch controller, or the tactile buttons, and a color screen. I've done full set of schematics for that. I've done a questions and answers kind of thing. Whole bunch of stuff just to try to make that a full closure to the rebuild. Just wanting to make sure that everybody knew, hey, this is not just something, hey, we're going to try, but this is what we did, and it's fully functional, and it's been sent to the customer, and we documented the whole thing. And if anybody else wants to do it again, that we can do it. And just not like, oh yeah, well they'll fumble their way through the next one. No. We're showing that, hey, here's a full schematic, here's the questions and answers, and what you're wanting to do, so it's all done. But yeah, so yeah, we're repairing other laser machines and moving forward. And since other people are going to jump into doing our laser machines or selling something similar, we're going to grow what we do. We're going to start selling some accessory stuff, and our metal cutting lasers are on the way here. So yeah, and I prefer to sell stuff that I know is working, that I know how it works. I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, we sell metal cutting lasers, but I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah.
When are they
Yeah.
due to arrive?
I know they're in containers and they left Shanghai, but I don't know exactly when they're going to be here. That's always a very muddy.
So they're in
Answer.
transit at this point.
They're in transit, and I am clearing out parts of my building. I'm getting ready to install 3-phase electric here. We're getting the high volume air compressor ready. Moving equipment from this building to another building so that we can make space here. Yeah, this is going to take up effectively the size of 2 buses inside the building for 3 machines. So
you putting in Y or Delta?
I am not sure which one that they're going to do, but the laser machines are coming with transformers, and as long as they work, I don't care.
And so this
Right.
is 60 hertz or 50 hertz?
It's probably going to be Delta.
But it's 50 hertz or 60 hertz?
60.
Okay. So at least you don't have to go with a motor generator.
Right.
You got anything else, Mr. Ray? Because we're running a little over time. Of course, I'm at home, so it doesn't matter if I'm running a little over time, but
But you're getting hungry, right?
Patty says there's food. She opened the door and said there's food. So yes, I like food. So
I don't have anything else. Not really. Not
okay.
really.
We are virtual again next week, and I will hopefully find out what's up with Jim, because
Yeah,
it looks like he completely forgot, or
well, that's concerning.
hopefully he isn't sick again. So
Yeah,
anyway, plan on being here again next week virtually. So
so that's the 22nd.
yeah,
Well, it'd be the 22nd and the 29th are both virtual.
yeah, we're virtual the next couple meetings, but definitely next week. So
Okay.
all right, I will
Well,
see
I hope he's
everybody later.
okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
So
take
long,
care,
folks.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.